Hello there. Once again, this is Anton from Anton Bay, and I just came back today from going to El Paso. I hit up one of my favorite comic book stores, Rebel Comics there, and the guy always comes through for me in his discount bins. He's always got a bunch of weird stuff, and today was no different. It's been a while since I've been there, and he has replented his weird stuff. And I'm going to start off with this comic haul with probably some of the weirder stuff that was there. It's from Comic Interview Publication, and it is Southern Nights is the name of this comic. I believe it is a regional type title. It is printed in New York, but it is predominantly, I mean, it's black and white. I don't know. It seems like kind of I don't know, it's why it says, #1 team of the South. This, to me, seems like one of those comics that like maybe a comic book store published or something like that. The art in it looks good. It's interesting looking. You get a lot of dragons, and it looks like a combination of, sword and sorcery and some technology and, good old superhero looking stuff. So in that way, I get maybe a hint of Thundercats vibe off of it, but I like that. But it apparently ran a while. I've got issue 17 and issue 22. Some of these have really cool ads on the back. Just odd stuff. I like the look of it. I should look at the year, just kind of get an idea here. Oh, let's see. It's got to be 80s. Yep, 87. So this would have been after Ninja Turtles hit it big. Everybody was trying to make it with an independent comic back then. #1 superhero team of the South, issue number 24. The fact that it's running, 24 some issues. Let's see what we got here. Issue 25. I mean, it's a good looking team. I forgot to check for the ad. One thing I did notice, they are very ununiform. Some are taller, some are wider. They're just all cut weird. And a lot of dragons and dinosaurs. But all that's good. Yeah, I like it. I haven't given it a chance reading it yet, but of course I will give it a chance because it is just too weird to not. Yeah, I like that ad. That's, ew, what the hell is up with those? I don't know, that's gross. Yeah, this is some top-notch art. Good looking stuff. Night notes. Anyway, I am excited to give those a chance. Definitely a different thing. Ghost, I don't consider Ghost like super weird. Definitely independent. I mean, Dark Horse, you can still call. If it's not Marvel or DC, it still counts as Indy. And Ghost isn't one of the most popular books Dark Horse ever made. But I do love the action figure I have. It doesn't do a whole lot. It's a cool character design. So I'm pleased with that. And if you're seeing them in a bargain bin, you don't pass on them for 50 cents or $1 or whatever they're bringing. Which, by the way, I'm not even positive what these cost. We kind of did a trade deal. I gave him some duplicates of mine and some higher value comics. There you go. Now we're talking. How could you forget? But we did a trade deal, so I don't really know. Oh God, he's poking the skull eye. That's disgusting. Okay, so I don't really know what some of these cost. I just we did a straight up trade. I know I got them for, it had to be probably less than 75 cents a piece. Probably more like 50. Traded in some higher value books, and he sent me away with just a huge pile of whatever I wanted. Got a good pile of in-store credit, and I was very pleased with it. Sorry to bump the camera. Realign that just there. This Mike Grell, Maggie the Cat. That's hard font to read. Maggie the Cat. Image, I don't really count it like super weird indie stuff, but it's definitely a book I'd never heard of, which made me interested. because of course, if I've never heard of it, I'm interested. It's of course got some McFarlane figure stuff in the back, and this is an earlier 90s book. Not a lot of dialogue. Looks like a lot of just action. That's a great spread shot there. So, very excited about that. As always, it's like a femme fatale type thing with you know, guns and stuff. Who doesn't like that? Picked up another issue of Necromantra. I'm eventually going to get this whole 4-part series. This is just, you know, I love Mantra. It's a weird comic, weird book. And that's all upside down. So it means it's 2-parted. But yeah, I don't have the whole Necromantra miniseries. Let's see what's on the back side. More Lord Pumpkin stuff. God, he is so creepy. You gotta love this guy. Yep. Awesome. Keeping along with Malibu, I grabbed another issue of Foxfire #1 just because I love this. I love the fact that the front cover is reverse. If you've never seen that, it's just the backside, literally the backside of the front, which I think is kind of gimmicky, but I've never seen it before, so I was very excited about it. And just, I don't know, the character design just being all shiny gold woman, I kind of like that. And it's an Ultraverse title, so of course I'm going to get into it. And I'm pretty sure this is post Marvel Comics buyout. I think this was after that. So, pretty good book there. I found something called Fantasy from Warp Graphics. This is Apple Comics. Oh, it's a flip book too, so we'll get to the right side. And it is just full of crazy, messed up, obsessive, twisted art. And so I dig that. Fantasy. It's got this fat guy, Captain Obese. Pretty good looking art in there. Very, very busy. You could tell they spent just days on a certain panel. Just constantly. Like, look at how much pencil work is in all this. It's nuts. I don't know much about Captain Obese, but I'm excited to read this. Let's see what's on the... Nope, this one is not a flip book. This is issue number 8. That other one is issue number 9. Some of it's kind of bland looking, but Captain Obese, nabbed by neo-Nazi nuts. How can you pass on a comic with that on the cover? You know, when you've got a header like that, I mean, you're basically forced to buy it. Yeah, look at the work that somebody put in these panels. Bricks. Lots of bricks. Some of it kind of reminds me of some Mad magazine type stuff. But anyway, very excited to have that. I also got issue number 3. Lots of Captain Obese stuff. Origin of Hunter XX. Let's see, we've got The Eye of Mongombo, issue number 4. This is a Fantagraphics book. I kind of like what I find from Fantagraphics. Some of it is really good, some of it is really stupid. This might be stupid. Who knows? That's not a very promising front panel. Oh, some of this looks good though. Kind of cartoony, kind of ultra violent. Yeah, why would you leave that for such a small price? Move that down a touch. This is an Aerosol comic. This is Gun Fury, issue number 2. I almost think I have this, but I wasn't positive. And it's, you know, when it looks like this inside, I didn't want to leave it. on the off chance that I did already have it. It just looks kind of amateurish, but like colored really well. So I dug it. I didn't want to leave it. That, and I like the name Gun Fury, which I think that's a special move from Final Fantasy VII. Gyro Force, rip-off press. I picked this one up for the same reason. The art looks really immature and clunky, but something about that type of coloring, I always really like it, and I just tend to grab them. So I did. Eclipse Comics, Fusion number 6. This is another one where I was like, this looks really familiar. Maybe I have it, but then again, I wasn't sure. So I just had to make the call and get it. There is a whale at a bar with some harpoons in him. That's awesome. I mean, some of this stuff, if you pass on it and don't get it, I mean, it's kind of hard to get, kind of hard to find. If it's in a bargain bin, you know you're going to pay less. If you look at on like eBay or something, you're going to get gouged for some of this stuff. I picked up an issue of Freaks number 11 because I don't think I have this one. I've got like a ton of Malibu stuff. I'm trying to get like a complete run of the entire Ultraverse. And I'm basically there, but there's like a handful of certain issues that I don't have. I think I'm missing one issue of Strangers. I know I was missing one issue of Freaks. And the art in this one is not very good at all. This looks really shitty, actually. I don't know who's doing this or why, but yeah, why would you do this? Usually art in Malibu stuff is pretty good. This looks like ass, and it doesn't match anything else. But we'll go from shitty art to really nice art, which is this. Captain Victory. Let's see. See if our man is still drawing it. Yep. Still drawn by Jack Kirby. I thought maybe he was just doing the covers. Sometimes it's hard to tell. The coloring is not really doing his work that much justice currently in this issue, but I will still always pick up an issue of Captain Victory and the Galactic Rangers. Just, he kind of looks like He-Man to me, and there's no way I'm leaving it. Book I found that I have never heard of, Primer Comics, Lady Bathory. I wasn't sure how to pronounce it. Bathory. First sexy collector's issue. Having sexy adventures. It doesn't look very sexy. It looks kind of horrific and awful. But it's up my alley. It's a weird 90s bad girl. It's probably terrible writing. But that's a pretty good spread there. Anyway, had to get it. Couldn't leave it. I mean, it's 75, but I guess it's a Comico primer. Whatever. Whoever made it. Dark Horse Comics, Wacky Squirrel number 3. I just got it because it's Wacky Squirrel. It's black and white. It looked kind of fun. I'll give it a try. Probably not as weird as some stuff, but I did grab some just regular old series Wildcats. I do have a soft spot for this team. I remember when they had a cartoon on TV, and I loved it. Speaking of which, I did get a couple issues of their cartoon-based book, but I mean, it's a likable series. The art's not horrible. It's very much Image style of the time period that it was made in. Here's Wildcat Adventures. This one's based on the cartoon, hence it looking so much more cartoony. But I didn't want to leave it. I have a few issues of it, but I had not seen this one. So yeah, I was going to get that. I love Zealot. I like Voodoo. I like the team. Grifter's cool. Get it. Found Tomu. I actually wasn't familiar with this character until I bought her action figure. I just saw the figure and I was like, this is a really cool figure. So I'm going to buy that. And so when you see the comic from that, pick it up. I got issue number, I believe, 2 and issue number 0. I was very pleased with it. And this is just a great looking cover to anyway. So got that. It's a little glossier than some of these. Very shiny, but what are you going to do? It is what it is. Check it out. As far as like a real slice of weirdness, I found a Wayne Gretzky comic, Sports Superstars. And sometimes these are just like interviews and just like print. But this was actual comic book panels and everything. So I had to get that. I mean, you got Wayne Gretzky in a comic. Sure, he's playing for the Kings and, you know, everybody hates them, right? I do. But anyway. So, next up I got Starstruck. I know this is technically a Marvel, but it's under their Epic title, which means it's, you know, not a Marvel comic. And I found a few of these to be pretty interesting reads. That's kind of scary. Whatever that dude is not wearing, it looks like he's just wearing a sock. But yeah, some of these are great. Some of them are crap. I thought I would take a gamble and grab a couple of issues of this, mostly because I really loved this cover. And some of this future weird shit just speaks to me and I like it. So anyway, picked up those. I also grabbed this. I love Now Comics makes Married with Children comics. What weirdness. I mean, they look so odd. I mean, it's so exaggerated. It is literally Mad Magazine type stuff of just weird looking art. Caricatures basically of the TV show. But a must have if you're a fan of the series and just a fan of like weird TV show comics, which I feel like I am, so I definitely wanted to get those. A little bit odd, maybe this is dumb. I got these, I bought these online. They were, I think I got 3 issues of it for like $4 shipped. So it's not like I have a lot invested here. I was just intrigued by the concept of some Barbie comics. I'm going to crack one open, just kind of see what they look like inside. I haven't got to that yet. Just, I don't know, I wanted something different. And some of this stuff is so odd when you look back on it. That, and I had to admit that some of the, like this cover, that's pretty damn cool looking. Whether or not it's Barbie or not, that's a cool cover. Some of them were rough. This issue was really rough. I don't care. You know, what are you going to do? This issue was also pretty rough shape. But, bite me. Okay, and then the last book I'm going to show, this I ordered just special. I used to have this thing. It is oversized. It is Kitchen Sink Comics Fandom Confidential. It stars Jim Engel and Chuck Fiala. I can't pronounce his name. It is a monstrosity of photographs. Let's see what year this was. 82. It's a monstrosity of photographs that they made comics into. I've never seen a book done like this since, but I was just really interested by it, just by how odd it is. This is a cheap, I think they only made 1 issue, and some of it is really hilarious. Some of it's super stupid. Some of it is very, what's the word? Of the time. So like some of these like references I don't even get. But it is a weird book. And the best part about it, you'll love this. Oh, the very, very back, they go to meet John Byrne. And there he is. And he is a pompous, ridiculous jackass in this, and he's wearing a crown on his head because he's like the greatest comic book writer of all the time. And, you know, they like have to worship him and everything. It is really bizarre. I don't know why John Byrne would, you know, put himself in this. And he's a fairly like a reputable type person, comic book writer. I don't know, like, it just cracks me up. You get the idea. Yep, he's maniacal. And then they turn into fanboys. Anyway, there it is. That is like a super slice of weirdness. And yeah, I don't know what else to say about that. Anyway, that's my story. Thank you guys for watching. I will catch you later. Bye.